go away, away. Ekupende, Mama, Sitaki Mwikine.
Well, welcome tonight, and we got a great show lined up for you. I'm Alan Blake. They couldn't find anybody else to do this, so I said, yeah, I can do it. I'm the building maintenance guy. That shows you how low they had to go to get anything, but I want to welcome you tonight. First of all, please silence your cell phones, and I want you to be aware of exits. We have an exit there, and in the back, that's an emergency exit. Okay, but it is an exit. And those are things I think you ought to know. And I'd like to thank our sponsors. They're all on the back here of your program that makes this possible. And we really appreciate the effort that's being put forth with our community to give you entertainment and to give you a nice facility like this. We want your Stroede experience to be the best it can be. And that's what we're going to do, if you like it or not. Now, if you want any of the upcoming events, you can go to our website or, the table in the lobby. But the website is www.defiancearts.org. And that'll give you what's coming up, and there's a lot of exciting things coming up. We're going 90 miles an hour, and I love it. And you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And as always, we're a nonprofit, and donations are appreciated. This is something that tomorrow night we're going to have a kids movie in Encanto, and we ask for only donations at that, and you're surprised how many people won't even give $1, And the movies are exciting for the kids. This is a great venue to have them. We did Polar Express, and they went nuts in here, and we had hot chocolate for them and everything. So that's some of the stuff that is really cool. And then February 24th, we're having the Madcap Puppets, When You Wish Upon a Fish. I thought it said flush at first, but anyhow, all ages are welcome, and once again, donations are appreciated. Then on March 3rd, that's one day before my birthday, I'll be 100. We got the B2 Wins at the Stroede Center. Tickets are $18 online and $20 prior to the event, $25 at the door. Now, like I said, I have your cell phones. I'm going to introduce you now to our bluegrass players that we have. In bluegrass, I told them my story. In 1970, I went to Prowlers, Rhode Island. Now to me, I'm going to see Tom Jones and all of that, right? I walk into a piano bar. They're playing bluegrass and country western. And any place that I went, that's what they were playing. I drank a lot. No, always had a good time. Great piano bars up there, by the way. Haven't been there for a while. They wouldn't let me back into the state of Rhode Island. But bluegrass, as many of you know, it was actually developed in the 40s. And Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys is what bluegrass is actually named after. And it's a story that goes on through our lives, that it's innovative. It uses Irish ballads, English ballads, Scottish ballads, all intertwined, and it tells a story of our country. And tonight, I'm proud to say that we have the Henhouse Prowlers. And so, if you would you please give a round of applause for Chris, Ben, John, and Jake, the Henhouse Prowlers.
To tell you the truth, I'm tired of running around. Same old places in the same old town. I've told the same old story so many times I can't stand the sound. To tell you the truth, I'm trouble bound. Oh, but the band's on stage again. And the sound man pumps the volume nearly all the way to 10. Promoter sits and grumbles, can't believe he booked this group. Oh, he won't be back again, to tell you the truth.
To tell you the truth, I'm tired of running around. The same old places, in the same old town.
I gotta get out of here and change my act. I don't know if my mind is still intact.
Tell you the truth, as a matter of
Oh, come on, boys, we're leaving. It's time to take the wheel and ride. We scored a gig at that new place up on the north side. Yeah, they say it's good exposure, but it may not pay a dime. It would be our big break if we could only get there on time.
To tell you the truth, I'm tired of running around.
So tired.
Same old places, in the same old town.
Same old town. Somebody look me in the eye and state the facts. I don't know if my mind is still intact.
Tell you the truth, as a matter of
I'm gonna take my act to Nashville. It'll be a brand new start. I'll wear a rhinestone suit and break all the ladies' hearts. And I'll find some hot young pickers and form the coolest group. While I live on rice and beans and cans of Campbell's soup.
To tell you the truth, I'm tired of running
Running around.
the same old places, in the same old town.
Get me out of this town. I gotta get this monkey off my back. It's one step forward and 12 steps back.
Tell you the truth, as a matter of as a matter of
I'm leaving you for the interstate, never coming home. Know that you got love to give, but so does this old road. Trade the comfort of your loving arms, two brown eyes that shine, for the windshield and the steering wheel, crossing them county lines. Missouri's got the open plains, Oklahoma freezing winds. California autumn keeps me coming back again. I wish that you could be here, 'cause then you'd understand what the open road and the steering wheel does to a rambling man. I'm leaving you for the interstate, never coming home. Know that you got love to give, but so does this old road. To the comfort of your loving arms, two brown eyes that shine, from the windshield and the steering wheel, cross them county lines.
wide. Asphalt never lets me down, and it always lets me ride. I go to sleep in the morning, and I wake up at night. Coffee keeps me going, but the whiskey makes me right. I'm leaving you for the interstate, never coming home. Know that you got love to give, but so does this old road. Share the comfort of your loving arms, two brown eyes that shine, for the windshield and the steering wheel, crossing them county lines. Wish that I could keep your love, 'cause I know it's tried and true. Well, they say a road's a lover, and you know I can't have two. I know that I might have regrets somewhere on down the line, but from now on you're gonna be out of sight and out of mind. I'm leaving you for the interstate, never coming home. Know that you got love to give, but so does this old road. Trade the comfort of your loving arms, two brown eyes that shine, for the windshield and the steering wheel, crossing them county lines. For the windshield and the steering wheel, crossing them county lines.
Well, thank you, folks. We are the Henhouse Prowlers from Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, thanks. We're on a short run here in the Midwest, and this is our first time here in Defiance, and we're thrilled to be here. This is a beautiful little town. Thank you. We're going to do a song here written by a former member of this band, a guy who started this band with us many years ago now. A great songwriter named James Weigel. Still play a bunch of his songs. He had a beautiful daughter and decided he better stay at home and raise his kid. And we still have him sitting with us whenever we can. We named an album after this tune. It's called Separation Man. Think my body's split in two. Think I lost my point of view. Can a shadow make a man? Can a shadow understand? Did I lose another piece? Is that an elbow or a knee? I can't even find my hands. I'm the separation man. Watch me blow away like wind. See me not come back again. I tried to auction off my things, notify my next of kin. I don't own a house or a car, just some jeans and old guitar. I've no family or friends. I'm a separation man. No rain, the fields turn dust, rivers and lakes dried up. One well alone that must keep falling if he can. What lies in places deep, where light fails and darkness creeps, in blood through the hands of a separation man. Eyes cold and sorrow strong, won't stay awake for long. Maybe things ain't what they seem. Morning bright, a mask the dream, showing us that nothing's real. Just maybe wheels it might have been. In bed it's safe at last. Nightmares quite outran. Good life and natural death. Of a separation man. He's a separation man. Well, folks, it is my supreme honor to introduce you to our guitar player tonight and every night. He's been with this band for 5 years now, is that right? 5 years, that's hard to believe. Incredible musician. He comes from Bloomington, Indiana, and we stalked him for years before he joined the band. I mean that quite literally. We played a show with him, gosh, it had to have been 15 years ago now, in his previous band, and I was like, man, that guy's good. And so we stayed in touch, and I kept an eye on when he was no longer playing with that band, and I scooped him up. It was the best.
Baby.
That's right. One of the best decisions I ever made. Incredible guitar player, amazing songwriter. Please make welcome Chris Dollar.
Thank you. And for my first trick, we're going to play a song that makes fun of the banjo. So thanks for that very kind introduction. This is a song called The Tune Tune. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Some are flat and some are new. Who cares if it's a little altitude? Now you can't spend your days just trying to get it right, or when it seems there is no way to get it without a fight. Oh, that's too high, that's too low. Honey, won't you go? Go and get locked in and it's sounding good. We're trying to play a show. Who cares if it's a little altitude? Who cares if it's a little altitude? I won't feel sorry and I don't feel blue. Some are flat and some are new. Who cares if it's a little altitude?
inside you can feel. I'll be the empty space there lying next to you. And when the phone don't ring, it'll be me. It'll be me not calling you, crying like I used to do, crawling on my hands and knees. It'll be me not on the phone, begging let me come back home. When the phone don't ring, it'll be me. I'll be the car now parked out in your driveway, and you wonder where on earth I could be. I'll be the footsteps you don't hear in the hallway, and when the phone don't ring, it'll be me. It'll be me not calling you, crying like I used to do, crawling on my hands and knees. It'll be me not on the phone, begging let me come back home. When the phone don't ring, it'll be me. It'll be me not calling you, crying like I used to do, crawling on my hands and knees. It'll be me not on the phone, begging let me come back home. When the phone don't ring, it'll be me. Yeah, when the phone don't ring, it'll be.
Please don't cry anymore. Your tears will only make your eyes sore. But if you don't tell me now, he said, it's been so long since I've seen your face. I felt your warm hands or your strong embrace. But if you don't hold me now, she said. You know that I can't stay alone. No, it's not your fault, you have done no wrong. But if you don't come with me now,
since I've seen your face. But your proposition, oh, it has been misplaced. I can't tell you now how sorry I am. But if you don't leave right now, she please don't cry anymore. Your tears will only make your eyes sore. But if you don't leave right now,
Well, while he's tuning, I'm going to introduce this young man standing to my right here. He's an Ohio native, comes from Akron. He's been in the band for 3 years now. He just moved to Chicago a matter of weeks ago, and so we apologize for stealing him from your wonderful state. Fabulous, amazing mandolin player, as you can tell. He went to the Berklee College of Music and got a degree in mandolin, like a college degree in mandolin.
I didn't get a degree in tuning, though.
But this is the world we live in. You can actually go to college and study mandolin now, which I thank my lucky stars for. He brings so much to this band, and it's an honor to stand on stage with him every night. Please make a welcome Jake Howard on the mandolin. Right after Jake joined the band in early 2020, we stopped being able to play music. And so we went and recorded an album, and it was a really great experience and a really great way to get to know each other. And Jake brought this next tune, and it's something we really love. It's a song about a Chicago woman that not enough people celebrate, a woman named Jane Addams, who was the inventor of social work. And it's a beautiful song about her, and it goes like this.
Well, Daddy was a senator, 8 terms for Illinois. Stood upon integrity against good old boys. Often stopped and talked to men most people would ignore. He saw them as human beings, most people called them poor. And as she grew, he showed his cards. He was an ace of honesty, and everything he ever did was based in empathy. As his fate, he disappeared, and only she could lead the way, leaving everything she ever knew for the turn of a new day. Yeah. She said, I'm bound for the city,
get my wings and I learn to fly on solid ground. This life ain't pretty. Give them wings and I learn to fly. Some were lost and some were cold, some were getting mighty thin. As the second city streets wrapped their bodies in the wind, it sent shivers down her spine. It doesn't need to be this way. Men in suits, tall buildings, written rules and living wage. Heard of all the stories of those who didn't get the chance, had a life that was worth living through the comforts of this land. We have come so far with so many left behind. She chose to see the problems instead of having peace of mind. She saw the helpless, full of fear, with no boat or winds to steer. She'd man the mast and make the waters crystal clear, using her past as a moral compass, in compassion as a choice. She'd take our neighbors, give them shelter, and give the poorest shouting voice. She said, I'm bound for the city, get my wings and I learn to fly on solid ground. This life ain't pretty. Give them wings and I learn to fly. She said, I'm bound for the city, get my wings and I learn to fly on solid ground. This life ain't pretty. Give them wings and I learn to fly. So while I was studying mandolin in college, I had a professor that was very influential and introduced me to a lot of great mandolin players. One of those mandolin players I should have known before I went to college, but somehow didn't. And his name is David Grisman. I don't know if you've heard of David Grisman. Yeah, he's most famously known for playing with Jerry Garcia, but he had his own world of music that people like to call dog music. His nickname is Dog, D-A-W-G. And so I wrote a tune after him. It's called Dog Eat Dog World, and it goes a little something like this. 1, 2, 3.
have time on my hands to do some living. Always had a little time to find some peace. There was even time on Sunday for the good Lord. Now I ain't even got the time to stop and breathe. I spent 40 hours working for the big man, and 50 more for everybody else. Seems like somebody's always trying to find a piece of me. Well, I think it's time to keep some for myself. As of late, I'm burning both ends of the candle, pleasing everybody else to just get by. I wonder how things got so complicated. Right now, I think it's time to simplify. Somebody's always trying to light a fire beneath me, just to make me go where I don't want to be. Seems I'm always hurrying, trying to please somebody. Well, I think it's time for someone to set me free. And the boss man ain't got time to bring me water. The water ain't got time to quench my soul. My soul ain't even got time for the sixth string. And the dead man keeps me buried in the hole. As of late, I'm burning both ends of the candle, pleasing everybody else to just get by. I wonder how things got so complicated. Right now, I think it's time to simplify. As of late, I'm burning both ends of the candle, pleasing everybody else to just get by. I don't know how things got so complicated. Right now, I think it's time to simplify. Yeah, right now, I think it's time to simplify.
Folks, back here on the bass, he's this guy's a very special human being for a lot of reasons, and I mean that very sincerely. He's, we say the band's from Chicago. It's really, he's the only one in the band that's from Chicago. We park our van in Chicago, and some of us live there, but really he's a true Chicagoan through and through. When baseball season is here, he's worthless. Watches every single game, and is a true fan of the Cubs, whether they win or lose. It's really something. It's cool. I've had lucky enough to go to a couple games with him. I'm not a baseball fan, but he's my best friend, and he keeps score with a pencil and a piece of paper, and has little symbols that mean things I have no idea. And everybody knows him at the field. It's really charming. It's the most Chicago thing ever. But he's one of the most kind and gentle humans you will ever meet. He writes really great songs. He's a fabulous bass player, and he's a good friend to everybody up on stage here, and he will be your friend too if you ask nicely. Please make welcome John Goldfine. We're going to do a tune. I come from upstate New York, and I like writing songs about terrible things that happened there. And this is one of those terrible things. Right outside of my hometown of Homer, which is right in the Finger Lakes region, there's a big hill. And when I grew up, I recognized there was a sign on the top of that hill that was way too big for that small town. It was this giant yellow sign that said that there was a gradient coming up. And I asked my dad when I was a kid what it was about, and he said, I think there was an accident or something. And as I got older and started writing songs, I looked it up, and it turned out to be this just horrendous story about a truck full of gasoline coming down the hill, lost its brakes, and it hit the bank right in the center of town, and the tank ruptured, and fuel spilled into the river, and then it caught on fire and just kind of leveled this town. And I thought, that's a really nice thing to write a song about. So I found there was a newspaper article I found where there was a guy they interviewed who lived up on the hill, and he was up early that morning, and he heard the sound of the horn blowing as the truck came down the hill. And that stuck with me. This is called The Devil's Horn.
My name is Stuart Pell, and this story I will tell of the day this little town near saw its end. The man behind the wheel with the devil lost a deal. It's still too much for one to comprehend. As the sun began to shine, wiped the sleep out of my eyes, when I heard a sound that made my blood run cold. I can't see that well, but I sure as I could tell something fierce was heading down the road. That old truck up on the hill had a destiny to build. I was the only man awake to hear him warn. Get the hell out of luck, 'cause the devil doesn't knock. If you're lucky, boy, he'll maybe blow the horn. Just like he'd done for 20 years or more. As the driver felt the grade, his foot reached for the brake, pushed the pedal straight down to the floor. In the valley down below, not a single soul could tow. That fire about to hang down on the mall. That poor man hit the local bank, tore a hole into the tank. A tiny spark became a fireball. That old truck up on the hill. That was many years ago. There's not much left to show. So the folks here built the town to be reborn. Those of us left who were there still say a silent prayer. Swear we hear that damn infernal horn. I don't trip on the hill and the destiny to do. I'm the only man awake to hear him warn. Get the hell out of luck, 'cause the devil doesn't knock. You're lucky boy, he'll maybe blow a horn. This is another beautiful song by Mr. Chris Dollar. We have a lot of fun in this band. There's no other way to do it. And sometimes we leave little nuggets on the set list for each other to discover in the middle of the night. And I wrote a song that doesn't exist on there in hopes that it would catch John. And during that last song, I turned around and looked at him, and he smiled at me, and I was like, got him.
Goodbye, we're leaving you behind to a land some may never see. We'll try to write sometime, and we hope you will write to we. Write your letters, sign it good, put the postage where you should. What's the address you might see? Superhighway USA. We go east, we go west, we go wherever place is the best. Just me and my traveling gal. This place will open up your mind. See the world from a different point of view. This land is yours, this land is mine. Don't forget this idea, it isn't new. We just want to see the world before the rest of life unfurls. Take my advice and give her a ring. Buy a van and sell everything. We go east, we go west, we go wherever place is the best. Just me and my traveling gal. Mountains, canyons, and rivers wide, snowy peaks, sandy beaches too. Don't forget that wildflower sunrise, and the water's turquoise and blue. Every night we would stay out underneath the Milky Way, have a drink and write a verse that contemplate the universe. We go east, we go west, we go wherever place is the best. Just me and my traveling gal. Goodbye, wildflower sunshine. I'm going back to the way things used to be. Hope to get back out there sometime. But for now, well, I'll just write to thee. Write my song, it's a pretty good. Put the hook right where it should. No need for me to wait and see. If you come along again with me, we go east, we go west, we go wherever place is the best. Just me and my travel, and we go east, we go west, we go wherever place is the best. Just me
Well, we're gonna do a song by not written by any of us up here. Written by a songwriter from New Jersey who goes by the name of Bruce Springsteen. He's starting to get a little bit well known.
Hopefully we'll help him.
Maybe by playing his songs we'll help him get his name out there. This is one I really like from a album he did in the early '80s called Nebraska, but we do it up our own way. This is called Highway Patrolman.
My name is Joe Roberts. I work for the state. I'm a sergeant out of Perrinville, barracks number 8. I've always done an honest job, as honest as I could. I've got a brother named Frankie, and Frankie ain't no good. Ever since we was young kids, it's been the same come down. I get a call on the shortwave, Frankie's in trouble downtown. If it was any other man, I'd put him straight away. But when it's your brother, sometimes they look the other way. Well, me and Frankie living and drinking, nothing feels better than blood on blood. Taking turns dancing with Maria as the band plays Night of the Johnstown Flood. I catch him when he's straying, like any brother would. Man turns his back on his family, he just ain't no good. Frankie went in the army back in 1965. I got a farm deferment, settled down, took Maria for my wife. But then wheat prices kept on dropping till it was like we was getting robbed. Frankie came home in 68, and me, I took this job. Well, me and Frankie laughing and drinking, nothing feels better than blood on blood. Taking turns dancing with Maria as the band plays Night of the Johnstown Flood. I catch him when he's straying, teach him to walk that line. Man turns his back on his family, he ain't no friend of mine. Well, the night was like any other. I got a call about 8:45. There was trouble in the roadhouse out on the Michigan line. There was a kid lying on the floor looking bad, bleeding from his head. Seen a girl crying at the table, and it was Frank, they said. Well, I went out and I jumped in my car, and I hit the lights. I must have done 110 through Michigan County that night. It was down at the crossroads, out round Willow Bank. I seen a Buick with Ohio plates, and behind the wheel was Frank. Well, I chased him through those county roads till the sign said Canadian border, 5 miles from here. I pulled to the side of the highway and watched his taillights disappear. Well, me and Frankie laughing and drinking, nothing feels better than blood on blood. Taking turns dancing with Maria as the band plays Night of the Johnstown Flood. I catch him when he's straying, like any brother would. Man turns his back on his family, he just ain't no
So this band has a interesting path. You know, when we started, it was we were a bar band in Chicago, and everybody in the band at the time were in different bands, and this was just an outlet for us to not play in our other band. That was really, and it was just like, oh, we want to play bluegrass. You know, let's have fun on Tuesday nights, and it started to become a thing, and pretty much everybody in the band quit their other band to make this their band. It's been a rewarding experience for us because we all had experience playing in other bands before that and learned the things that we didn't want to have happen in the group that we were playing with. And so we started off on the right foot, I think. But some stuff happened about 10 years into our existence that I never could have imagined no matter what. And that was us connecting with the U.S. State Department. And they started sending us all over the world to do cultural diplomacy work, which if you had asked me 10 years ago what cultural diplomat was, I wouldn't have been able to answer that question. But it's a really fascinating part of our government that not a lot of people know about. Since the 50s, we've been sending music and arts abroad because the State Department realized pretty quickly and early on that diplomats aren't half as good as making people get along as musicians and artists are. Music is, that's right, yeah. I mean, music is this it's almost a cliche to say it, but when people say music's a universal language, it's true. And we've been flown around the world and dropped into countries and been able to make music with people that we can't share a language, like can't speak with, but we can sit down across the table from them with our very different instruments and make music together. And it's been a huge, important thing to who we are as human beings to be able to do that. And it's changed the trajectory of the band. And we started coming back from these trips, and we've been to 28 countries now. We started to recognize that not only was what we were doing abroad an opportunity to connect people, but we could bring those experiences back home with us. And so now we do a bunch of educational work with kids and at festivals with adults to kind of share our stories, share the music we learn, and hopefully get that message across that it doesn't matter where we've been in the world, we found amazing people and amazing musicians to find common ground with. And so we're going to do that for you guys right now. We're going to share one of those songs with you that we have learned for one of our trips. We can't just show up to Kyrgyzstan or Saudi Arabia and just play bluegrass music. There's no way that people would immediately be able to connect with us. We always try to learn a song from the place we're going and show up ready to sing in their language. Poorly, but I mean, phonetically, we learn how to do this phonetically. And one of my favorite experiences is doing that and having people come up to us after the show and start jabbering really quickly in their language. It's just like, no, I don't know what I was singing. But I mean, I do. The song we're going to share with you right now comes from this trip we took to Kenya, and we were in all of East Africa, and we picked a good song because it didn't matter what country we played in, people knew this tune. All across Africa, it's much more cohesive than it looks when you look at a map. People speak bits of all the languages, and so Swahili is a big language in Africa. A lot of people know words in Swahili across the continent. So if a song gets big in Kenya, it can get big across the whole continent. And this is one of those tunes. It's by a band named Sauti Sol. I implore people to please go and find the original version of this song. We started a nonprofit called Bluegrass Ambassadors, and you can go to our Bluegrass Ambassadors website and find the original video of this song and the translation for it in English. It's a love song. It's really sweet. It's about it's called Sura Yako, and in Swahili that means your face. And it's like this love, this man is about to marry this woman, and he just can't believe it. And there's this great line in the chorus that talks about, I want to protect you like the police, and your love makes me feel like my belly is full of my favorite food. So we're going to share this tune with you. Go check out the original version of this. In the meantime, here's ours. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nimakuchagu away away. Nikapende. Mama, Staki Wagine. Ashu Siniache. Sinatende. Mama, Usapende Brigade.
Boy, when we mi passi, mi nicoli e chipati. Ne fanno fitto poco ma cheesy. Kupenda se tassisi.
Boy, wangoni am a posse. Umi Nicoli Chipati. The funny little cook on my cheesy. That's easy.
Yakamuza mama.
Missouri mama. Missouri mama. Missouri mama.
Sabo sabo like a mahua.
Missouri mama. Missouri mama. Missouri mama.
Yakamuza mama.
Missouri mama. Missouri mama. Missouri mama.
Sabo sabo like a mahua.
Missouri mama. Missouri mama.
Hite diva Nicolinde, Nicotunze, Mamas, cose lolo te, but now you Nico Vishe, Nico Hoe, Mamas, cose popote, Jomoyo Walu Shakubale, Woman Nicoli Chibati, Dacolena Kama Policie, Itabi Dini Kumare, Moyo Walu Shakubale, Woman Nicoli Chibati, Dacolena Kama Policie, Itabi Dini Kumare, Sura Yakamuza Mama. Tabasama Lakumaua. Sura Yakamuza Mama. Tabasama Lakumaua.
A Pigarensky dogo, Pigarensky dogo, a Densky dogo, Pigarensky dogo, a Densky dogo, Pigarensky dogo, a Densky dogo, Sorayaka Muzuri mama,
Missouri mama. Missouri mama. Missouri mama.
Tabasama lako mahoha,
Missouri mama. Missouri mama. Missouri mama.
Sorayaka Muzuri mama, oh,
Missouri mama.
you're so
Missouri mama.
beautiful.
Missouri mama. Missouri mama. Missouri mama.
Folks, we recorded an album last year with 9 songs from 9 different countries, with guest artists from most of those countries as well. It's called the Bluegrass Ambassadors Sessions Volume 1. That song was on it. I encourage you to check it out at the merch table after the show.
And to complete that thought, it's that all the proceeds from that album go towards our nonprofit. You know, a lot of times we'll be able to go into a city before we play a show and do work in schools with kids, but not every school can afford that kind of stuff. And so that's why we started the nonprofit. So, you know, if you want to buy 2 albums, that might be a good one to get. You know, I'm just saying. We're gonna do a song written by Mr. John here in key of G. It's a waltz. Now you know what we're doing.
You follow along?
You're scoring it. Well, there's 10 million people in this godforsaken city, and I don't know how I wound up with you. You gave me a glance, I asked you to dance, I should have let you find someone new. We seemed perfect partners for a short time, but now the dance floor is rocky and bent. I'd go back a while and give back your smile, take back the heart that I lent. 'Cause darling, there ain't nobody better than you at the old game of blame and regret. I'd turn back the years and unpour the beers. This time with you is time poorly spent. Oh, they say hindsight vision is perfect, and on the night we met I should have stayed home. I didn't see the signs or predict the hard times. I'd have been better off left alone. Oh, this roller coaster ride is tearing me apart. Good loving gone bad, that's all it is. I've been turned around, don't know where is up or down. If someone finds you, they can keep you, you're all his. 'Cause darling, there ain't nobody better than you at the old game of blame and regret. I turn back the time and recork the wine. Time with you is time poorly spent. No, darling, there ain't nobody better than you at the old game of blame and regret. I'd roll back to that point and unsmoke the joint. Time with you is time poorly spent. Time with you is time poorly spent. One more time with you is time poorly spent.
So we got time for one more, folks. It's been an honor and a pleasure to play for you tonight. We are very chatty men, and so if you want to talk to us after the show, that would delight us. So we're gonna go after we're finished here. We'll put our instruments back and we'll come and hang out by the merch table and just talk it up with everybody. That's what we do. Yeah, like an hour. Yeah.
The one guy who has not yet been introduced up here, from Homer, New York, a member of the board of directors for the International Bluegrass Music Association, and a swell guy all around. It's Ben Wright on the banjo.
One, two, three. Wishing, take the stream for two. Wishing, you take my coin and my troubles too. Come upon a wishing well, worried about my best. Just wondering and wishing the way it's alive. I get 'em off of my chest. It's not so simple to solve your strife. Do you his quest for power was too great. Tossed his coin convinced. He slipped and fell into the well, expecting an exchange. Now he's showered with money every day. Got a water free to range. Wishing well, wishing, take the stream for two. Wishing well, wishing he'd take my coin and my troubles too. I don't throw your money at a wishing well. It ain't got nothing funny, no magic spell. You best stop dreaming by a windowsill. Just lower that bucket and drink your fill. Like a wishing, well, wishing, take the stream for two. Wishing, well, wishing you'd take my coin and my troubles too. Well, wishing, take the stream for two. Wishing, well, wishing you'd take my coin. How you take my coin and my troubles too. Take my coin and my troubles too. Take my coin and my troubles too.
Southern Texas, counting cars, playing cards, passing time. If you'd signal those big trucks, they might just blow their horn. Riding through Dallas, regretting being born. There's a funeral in Port Arthur, looks like it's gonna be a storm. That sun had faded fast up in Missouri. Driving into the night, up and down the Ozark Hills like rabbits on the run. Being poor and being black in 1961, didn't want to wind up staring down the wrong end of a gun. One truck, two gas tanks, and a rifle rack. When he died, I got his plaid shirt and his Seagram's hat. Uncle Bubba didn't have a lot of money. Uncle Bubba had a monkey on his back. And one truck, two gas tanks, and a rifle rack. When that hurricane starts blowing, don't wanna hang around no more. Oh, one truck, two gas tanks, and a rifle rack. When he died, lot of money. Uncle Bubba had a monkey on his back and one truck, 2 gas tanks, and a rifle rack. And a mule. No, you can't buy a seat in heaven with 40 acres and a mule.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, guys. So we're going to finish with a comedy set.
We need a location? No, I'm just kidding.
No, we're gonna do a gospel number. This band didn't do gospel music for a long time because it didn't feel very, very sincere because we're all of different persuasions and it just felt weird. But then we wrote our own. And this is inspired by our travels. So thank you all for being such an amazing audience. What a beautiful night. Thank you guys so much. Give me that note again.
Isn't that my note? You take my note?
Usually have it.
That's what I start on.
Folks say there was a man named Jesus, and that there is little doubt that he had a way of thinking every person should try out. But not long after this man's words across the land began to spread, the influential man of power started singing what he said. Don't judge your neighbor
Unless you're looking in the mirror.
It doesn't matter one bit if they didn't come from here. Feed the hungry.
You might be hungry one day too.
Not every person on this planet is as fortunate as you. Now it's 2,000 years later and some say it's getting worse. These men are only getting louder and increasingly perverse. So let's take a moment to make sure it's not all misconstrued, 'cause it never hurts to go back to a subject and review. Don't judge your neighbor
unless you're looking in the mirror.
Doesn't matter one bit if they didn't come from here. Feed the hungry.
You might be hungry one day too.
Not every person on this planet is as fortunate as you. You don't have to be a Christian to take on this point of view. Let us not forget that Jesus was a Muslim prophet too. Did you know that's really true?
You can be a Hindu,
vegan,
Catholic, or arthropod. You don't even have to believe in a higher power God. Don't judge your neighbor.
unless you're looking in the mirror.
It doesn't matter one bit if they didn't come from here. Feed the hungry.
You might be hungry one day too.
Not every person on this planet is as fortunate as you. Now as this song comes to a close and we all go along our ways, it's important to remember there are coming better days. If we all just take a moment to remember what is best. We are all just human beings. No one's better than the rest. Thank you guys. Please come say hi. Please come say hi.